Mrs. Green Apple with Say Butsu. That is a that's a name for a Japanese song that is much easier to read if you have it written in Japanese characters. But something I think it's because I'm in Korea right now. For some reason, it loads up with the YouTube music, writing it in Romanized characters, and reading Japanese titles in Romanized characters. It's weirdly difficult. Anyway, so this is the next track on our track by track listen through to the Mrs. Green Apple self-entitled album. And yeah, honestly, I'm quite excited to see what we get next because the first three songs were just absolutely charging, full of identity, full of energy, you know, keeping so much momentum through the beginning of this album. I know that momentum's got to dissipate at some point and we're going to get some variation. And to be honest, I'm all there for variation. I love albums with variation on. But I'm almost going to feel sad when we lose the momentum that this album has launched in with. As I say, first three songs, all very unique, very different. Strongest start to an album that I can remember. I'm going to have to go back and listen to some of the other ones to compare it, I think. But this feels like the strongest starting Mrs. Green Apple album I've heard thus far. So anyway, let's jump in with this song, which is called, read it in the Romanized characters, Zasei Butsu. Let's jump in with this one and then see what we get from this. Anyway, let's go. Oh, okay. Back to that 3 counting. This is a nice breakdown. I love that second guitar line there. That glitch sound was pretty cool. I feel like I'm looking forward to the verses because stuff like this will happen. Yeah, there's that grit back in his voice. I love the songs where he adds that. Oh, that is so Mrs. Green Apple. That sort of fuzz pedal, so heavy it almost sounds like a keyboard. It's another one of those choruses that grows on you every time you hear it. That backing vocal harmony as well is brilliant. Loves those sudden endings, and I gotta be honest, I really love them too. Especially when there's like sort of like that final cadence where the notes just. This was ironically this song differs a lot from the first three, but it does share some similarity to the third track on the album, and the song that comes directly before this. In that it's another song where it's definitely got a very high amount of energy, and it also has this sort of really very emotionally intense feeling. Like, definitely this and the last track feel like there's a building sense of emotional depth here. Whereas the first two songs were a little bit more just kind of fun, sing it out loud. It feels like rather than the song dissipating energy to become more, to find like a sort of a ballady middle or something, it feels like first of all we're getting a little bit of a turn in the emotion where the song's becoming a little bit more intense, a little bit sort of darker on the undertone. His voice is getting more gritty with each song as we go. Sort of the track 3 was quite gritty. Now you're really hearing some proper grit in his voice when he's singing into that chorus, and I like that. But this song on a musical level shares a lot of similarities with the last song, in that it's another one where you kind of like have very much verse, chorus, and then instrumental bridge, where you get to hear a lot of the sounds that have been built up and played with up until that point. Sorry, I'm right by a train track in case you didn't know. You get to hear those sounds all circle around each other and then sort of throw you into the final chorus. Obviously, the big difference here musically was that this is a 3-count beat. So instead of having your usual 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, kind of, this is more of a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And that does give you, as we always discuss, it gives you that sort of swinging rhythm that's very different. I would say personally that I found every aspect of the way that this came across. Yes, it's a slower song than the first three, but it feels equally as urgent and as intense and probably more emotionally raw. And that therefore means that, again, the energy feels like it's been maintained from the first three songs. Definitely a song that gives you a sense of really kind of, again, with the other songs, just the same as the other songs, you can sing along to it, but more and more this sense that when you sing along to it, rather than just kind of a rejoice kind of singing, it's more of an intense feeling of emotion underneath this. It is a song that takes almost the perfectly managed approach to chorus is big and loud, verse is delicate and intricate. In that the verses, we get to hear lots of broken up sounds, interesting little things where, the first verse, it was just a case of everything went quite quiet and it was the vocals and the bass, but then you just like little sounds popping in. It's about... And that second line, that melodic harmonizing guitar, really love the line that's playing throughout both the verses. And then that comes back in the second verse. The piano doing something similar, kind of this almost dissonant sounding, harmonizing second line, which I just love the way that kind of, it both is in tune with everything that's happening at the core of the song with the bass line and the vocals, but at the same time it's so unexpected. It's playing notes that are definitely harmonically at the same scale as what you're hearing from the center of the song, from the focal point of the song, and yet so unexpected that it just sounds like there's this kind of uneasy randomness to it. And then the guitar comes in as well. Even the bass actually is quite random. I didn't even notice that. I just love that build-up. I think it's so simple. You feel almost like you're listening to a chamber quartet during the verses, because there's very little except for just kind of these flowing instrumental parts, which it all sounds quite sparse. It all sounds basic. It's not this big moment in the song. It's very much just about, listen to these little intricate things dancing around each other, and then that all happens, and then you get to the chorus and it just blasts in. And again, that backing vocal, it's not immediately obvious, but if you listen to that backing vocal back there, the harmony it's doing, I really like that. Yeah, personally, I think this is just, again, there's not a huge amount to say that differs this from the other ones, in that it does obviously have enough of its own identity. It does continue a direction in sort of slightly more gritty sound, and obviously it goes for a 3/4 beat rather than a 4/4 beat. But I would say, other than that, most of the compliments I have for this song are the same as the compliments I have for the first three. And that is no, that's not damning with faint praise. That is just that this album has started off really strong. Really enjoyed this. Really genuinely enjoyed this. I'm really enjoying this whole album so far. So great stuff. Anyway, looking forward to, like I said, I'm looking forward to when we get our left turn and when things change. But hey, if things continue as they are right now, great. I'm enjoying it. If the album takes a turn, great. All albums need variation at some point. Let's see what we get with the next song. It's called Soft Drink. That will be the next traction I'll be dropping from this album. But until I hopefully see you in that video or in the Discord or in the comments or wherever it may be, until then, for now, ciao, ciao.